I'm Danny. I'm 28 years old, and I'm a musician, singer-songwriter. So I play guitar, write music. But I never wanted to do I never wanted like to necessarily be an artist. It's not something that I ever saw myself doing, but I always wanted and liked the idea of working with other people. So in my free time, currently I'm studying remotely audio engineering and music production. Um, and then when I started here, it was essentially it was like very like kind of coincidental chance meeting that where I was working before, where I was working in hospitality jobs, and I didn't really have much sort of direction in what I wanted to do. I always knew I wanted to do something in music, but I just never had a clear view. Um, and I met Kingsley. I got to know Kingsley. I got to know the guys here at Inspire Sounds, who are obviously now my colleagues, and ended up taking on a role as like a youth worker mentor, and then also as we do, it's not exclusively just the youth work that we do, because we do open the studio facilities to commercial clients. So if people want to do like recording work, voiceover work, if they need tracks edited, mixed, mastered, etc., we offer those kind of services as well. But the main bread and butter of it is, facilitating work and working with kids who have all sorts of different like backgrounds, walks of life and situations, and and no child is like you know the same. There's always a very different case. They've all gone through something very different, and for one reason or other that's brought them to us. And the general idea is, we want to sort of create growth and change through the medium of music. Like that's what we're about. um and I love it. It's something that I really enjoy, I thrive on. I love seeing these young people come to us at some state and stage in their life and their musical career perhaps, and sort of seeing how they sort of grow as people and as musicians too. There's some young people that I've been working with. They are like now going on to like sort of college to do like music here locally in Oxford. Um, and it's great to see like some of them just like coming in with like almost like 0% like sort of like self-confidence and belief to like leaving us and going on to the next chapter like as like a completely different person for the better. And that's such a rewarding feeling. But yeah.
That's amazing. Are these young people signposted to you from a college or school or a local authority, or do they just find you?
So there's a few different sort of systems where kids are like put forward to us. So there's a scheme that we run, which is closely with it's inspiring change through music. So we have people come through there. There are some people that come to do these sessions privately. So it'll be like their parent or guardian that will pay for them to come here because they feel that they need the external support. And majority of those cases as well, it's like children that have a genuine interest and spark for music as a whole. And it's us sort of sort of honing their skills that already exist and like sort of pushing them forward, and like so in some cases like getting them to go out of their comfort zone for the better. And then we do stuff through alternative provisions, which is like council and government funded. So sometimes it's the majority of the time it is like kids that have like left school, and it's like the school trying to get them sort of back into like education system slash like society. and presenting them with a multitude of options. Like, you could go horse riding, or you can go uh, any like loads of different things, or you can go to a recording studio, and they're like, oh, okay, I'll go to the recording studio, and that's how they end up with us essentially. So
And
yeah.
how many of the children or youth that come here have already done some kind of music, and how many are just like kind of, well, that sounds quite cool?
I think it does vary. Um, yeah, it does vary because like you, in my experience, some of them like just have never really done anything like musical at all. Yeah, but like some of them do have already some pre-existing like experience with music and have a genuine passion for it, but they just sort of don't know what to exactly do with the skills they already have, or perhaps they want to like expand on the skills they already have. But like some people are very, very, very extremely gifted, talented, like in terms of like their musical ability, their music theory, and they're very like driven with it. But perhaps one facet they want to expand on and work on to help that already like existing strength is like the like digital audio production side of things. Like they don't quite know how to do all of like the recording that's required, like, and all of the various recording techniques that you could employ, how to edit that audio, how to mix it, and how to like bounce out that first like, rough mix. And like the main thing for us is like sort of identifying what they already have and what strikes like a spark in their hearts, and just sort of working on that with them, really. Like how can we like take this already like existing passion that they have and like help them and really like flesh it out, and so they can advance to a next stage, perhaps.
Because you raised something really interesting, which is about like what do we mean by growth? Because you said about enabling these young people's growth, but when we talk about economic growth, it's a completely different thing. So, given what you've experienced in what growth means to you through the music with these young people, do you think that growth, the way we measure growth, needs to be redefined?
I think perhaps in some ways, yeah. But you mean like taking into consideration like economic values within it as well?
Yeah, and just like because you've talked about personal growth, and so when we measure economic value, like how can we measure the personal growth of these young people and the music as well? Like because maybe the music is evolving through these people's experience, or maybe something is evolving at home or in their personal relationships or being in the world. So I just wondered, like, are you measuring that at all, or is that informing like a different way of looking at defining growth for these young people?
I think I think when we look at growth with these young people, it isn't just like in one instance as well, because like there are, they are still people. There's stuff that's like going on at home and in their personal lives, like you said, like in their personal relationships, romantic relationships, platonic, whatever it might be. Um, and like they're very much like keeping up to date with what's going on. It's like we are here to like make music and like have fun, and it's like meant to be an enjoyable experience, and we help them grow through the medium of music. But that can be helping them grow doesn't necessarily mean like within music itself. It's like that can be a very broad thing. It's like there are some people that they may not even want to like go outside. Like coming here is like the only thing that they'll do, and then they'll go back home. Sorry, excuse me. And then they'll go back home. That's it. It's like kind of like getting them reacquainted with society and like helping them find that confidence again. To like, oh, I can have friends, or like I can like have personal relationships again. I've got that confidence again. It's like growth doesn't have to be defined as like that one singular like thing that's like related to music. It can be like everything with them as a whole.
No, it's part of your essence of being, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's for me as well, like doing this and working. It's I feel like I'm probably not the first person that has said this, and certainly won't be the last. But I see a lot of myself in them when I was their age, and because like I was very shy and very introverted when I was like in school, didn't really feel like I had a voice, or like um didn't feel like I could really integrate well into other sort of groups, and everything was like too clicky. And yeah, and then I found music on my own. Like both my parents are very musical, and then like um yeah, and so music I think like did save me in a lot of ways, like and gave me a big confidence booster. Um so yeah, like when I see these kids and like they how passionate they get about music, and also like the majority of like the parents as well are very like kind of supportive of it as well, which is awesome to see. I'm so relieved to know that those parents that are just like very like you know for their kids following their passions. It's not just like, oh, you need to play it safe, because I know that's like the easy thing for a lot of parents to say. It's like just doing something in music for some reason isn't seen as a very conventional career path, whereas it really should be. Like if it's something a child is very passionate about, they should get all of that support.
Do you think that music should be included in more engagement processes with young people, or just in the community in general?
I think in general, like with young people, God, yeah, but in general, absolutely. I think music is something that brings people together, and that's like so corny of me to say, but it's true. It's like music does bring people together. Um, majority of like the friendships I have now in my personal life, I wouldn't have if it weren't for music in some way or another. The relationship I have with my partner, big reason we both like were so like interested in one another is that we shared very very similar music tastes, and like I think like music like needs to just like have much more support in general.
Just about this building in particular, because I think it's a slightly temporary, got a bit of a temporary nature about it.
Yeah.
But it's also very collective nature. It's a kind of it's amazing, like the kind of the essence of creativity, just like breathing in every kind of corner is incredible. And so how much does like actually being in this wider community help the young people that you described as only wanting to kind of come here and they go home? How much is it that this is here, this room, and how much is it that they're coming to this room in this building with all the other things going on? So maybe they don't necessarily interact with all these other people, but they know that they're there and they feel like it's a small step towards wider society.
Yeah, I think it's like perhaps for them it's like coming to this kind of building and environment where like everyone is just so personable and inviting and warm and friendly. Like I don't think I've ever like worked in the general like sort of environment where people just like had a very positive attitude. So I think for like young people that perhaps are like quite shy as well, it's nice to, I mean, I don't want to speak for them, but it must be like quite reassuring to come into this kind of environment. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been coming here for like probably 2 years now, a long time. And I would say that yes, I think that this space definitely helps, just in terms of the way it's set up and the way it feels to be here. I know it's a very like abstract thing to kind of talk about, but when I first started coming here, I had like little to no confidence about me at all, and I still have very little, but I have more because of this. I think it's definitely helped in that aspect, and this building is, in a way, it's a part of that because getting here before, I'd always like walk through from one end or whatever, and you'd go past all of these different spaces and different organizations and people, and they're all doing different things, but the common thing about all of them is they'll always, just give you a smile and say hello and whatever. Because they always know why you're here, because they always know you're coming to this place. But yeah, I think that it is definitely something that helped me, and because I can only speak for myself, but it helped me sort of reacquaint myself with what it's like to be in a place with other people, which is something that you have to be used to as a person. Obviously, you can't live without that, without the ability to be around other people, which is something that I, in my experience through my life, had sort of lost, having, as Danny said, a lot of these kids do dropped out of school quite a young age, or at a fairly young age, and just not really been doing any mainstream education. And I came here with council funding, just getting here and being able to go here on a regular, semi-regular basis and just be around other people, be with the mentors here. I've worked with a range of them, not just Danny, but Kingsley and Sam and all of them. Just being around other people, talking to other people, who are accepting and inviting and willing to, hear you out and listen to you, even if you haven't got a lot of social skills. It did help a lot. It really did. Just to, have a space to sort of pick up where I'd left off, I suppose, just with living in a society around other people and talking to people and all of that stuff, things that I had naturally not done properly in a really long time. And this space, this building, these rooms, they're a great place to sort of facilitate that. And it's partially the setup of the building and mostly just the people in it.
And the final question is, what can government, central, local, maybe other types of supporters of what you do to continue for this kind of thing to thrive, not only here, but in other places as well?
I think it's just like generally just giving it more sort of time and attention, but also making the public more aware as well. I feel like because a lot of it does come from like us putting it out there, making sure we're well connected with all the like local institutions, whether that's like educational institutions and like the like government institutions as well. If we didn't put so much like time and energy into making people aware of our existence and what we do, many of the kids would even be here. I think it's like the government needs to do more to make people aware of, independent like charity like organizations such as ourselves, like make people aware, make parents aware, make schools aware that we're here and like we're here to help. And like funding as well, we need more funding so we can facilitate it. Currently we have this room and the room upstairs, and so there's only so much we can do effectively as well. It's like, sure, we could like take one of the kids out, play some basketball or something, but then it's like that's not what they're really here for. We're here to like make music, and we're here to like educate them through the medium of music and help them and develop. And we can't really do that effectively if we haven't got the facilities, because we get more and more referrals, and there's only so many of us working as practitioners that can facilitate and provide the care and the work, and there's only 2 rooms. So it's like, I mean, don't really have to do the math to figure out like it's not feasible. So if like if we had more funding and we had more space, then like group sessions whilst doing one-to-one sessions, more and more possibilities, and have like the obviously like the equipment and the facilities for it. A lot of digital audio production equipment, a lot of the software, a lot of the additional VSTs, plugins, all that technical stuff. Not cheap at all. As much as I wish it was. I think a lot more support and funding would be appreciated.